Hello my dear friends, welcome to the YouTube channel Math Skill. Let's learn mathematics together. The aim of this channel is to help students overcome the fear of math by learning the concepts clearly. In this session, let's try to discuss about the chapter Quadratic Equations and the numerical. What we are going to learn is a statement problem, and the numerical is it possible to design a rectangular mango grove whose length is twice its breadth and the area is 800 square meters? If so, find its length and breadth. This numerical is a part of CBSE as well as NCERT for 10th standard mathematics. I am your trainer Venkatesh K. Now let us see how to solve the problem. I have noted down the problem, and the expectation is we will have to find the length and breadth of a rectangular mango grove such that the length is twice its breadth and also the area is 800 square meters. Satisfying these conditions, we will have to build a quadratic equation and try to solve the equation. If the real roots exist, then we will have to find out what would be the length and breadth of the rectangle. Let's try to understand what a rectangle is. General representation of a rectangle would be something like this. A rectangle has four sides, that is, opposite sides are parallel in a rectangle. Also, there are two longer sides and two shorter sides, and the longer side would be called as a length of the rectangle, followed by the shorter side, which would be called as the breadth of the rectangle. Also, he says that length is twice its breadth is one of the condition, that is, length is given in terms of the breadth, that is, length is equal to twice of breadth. Since length is given in terms of a breadth, let us assume the breadth of the rectangle to be x meters. Breadth is assumed as x meters. Therefore, length of the rectangle would be equal to 2x meters, because he says length is twice its breadth. Also, he says the area is 800 meter square. Now let's note down. So we know that area of a rectangle is length into breadth. We know that area of the rectangle is length into breadth. Since area, he says that it is 800 meter square. Now let's note down, which would be 800 is equal to length is what we have found out as 2x and breadth is what is assumed as x. Therefore, 800 is equal to 2x multiplied by x. 2x into x is 2x square. That is 800 is equal to 2x square, or 2x square is equal to 800. I've swapped the terms of LHS towards RHS and RHS towards LHS. Therefore, upon swapping, 2x square is equal to 800 is what we are getting. Now, both the terms are even, 2 and 800. So, let's divide both LHS as well as RHS by 2. Therefore, x square is equal to 400. Now, let's transpose the 400 towards LHS to find out whether he's saying first part of the question is it possible to design? So for that, we will have to convert the equation into the standard form, that is, upon transpose x square minus 400 is equal to 0, or since this equation does not have a x term, let us add an x term by adding 0, that is x square plus 0 into x minus 400 is equal to 0. Now comparing this equation with standard form of a quadratic equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. Upon comparing both the equations, we see that both equations look similar, that is, both contain the first term as an x square term, second term as an x term, and third term is a constant term. On comparing the coefficients of x square and x, we see that a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, and wherever there is constant, c is equal to minus 400. That is A is equal to 1, B is equal to 0 and C is equal to minus 400 is what we have got here. In order to assess whether the condition is possible or not, let's find out the discriminant. That is, we know that discriminant is b square minus 4ac. Based on the value of a discriminant, we will be able to assess whether the condition is practically possible or not. So for that, let's substitute the values of a, b and c in this equation. That is b square minus 4ac, that is discriminant is equal to b square is 0 square minus 4 into a into c. A is 1 and c is minus 400. Therefore 0 square is 0 and minus of minus is plus. 4 4 is a 16, that is followed by 2 zeros, 1600, that is plus 1600. Therefore discriminant is equal to 0 plus 1600 is 1600, which means discriminant is greater than 0. Since discriminant is greater than 0, therefore real roots exist and the roots would be distinct, which means to answer the first part of the question, whether is it possible or not, since the real roots exist, therefore we can conclude that the condition can exist. That is, we can design a rectangular mango groove in such a way that the length is twice its breadth and the area is 800 meters square. Therefore, we can conclude saying that since discriminant is greater than 0, therefore the equation has real and distinct roots, which means the condition is possible. Which means it is possible to design mango groove satisfying the given condition. Now let's try to find the value of that particular length and breadth. So let's take the equation x square is equal to 400 what we have got, which means x is equal to plus or minus square root of 400, or x is equal to plus or minus 20 it is. Square root of 400 is 20. Since x is the breadth of the rectangular mango groove, it cannot be negative. Therefore, x is equal to minus 20 cannot be considered, which implies that the required value of x is what? X is equal to 20. Therefore, the breadth of the rectangular mango groove is 20 meters. If breadth is 20 meters, we know that length is equal to 2x meters. Therefore, length is equal to what? Length is equal to 2x, which is 2 into 20, or length is equal to 40 meters. 22 is 40. Therefore, the rectangular mango groove, what we are supposed to design, is of breadth 20 meters and of length 40 meters. This concludes the solution. Thanks for watching the video. Take care.